It's Yorkshire Radio. Hello, I'm Darren. Good morning. Hope you're well. I'm getting a number of tweets about Back to the Future because it is 25 years ago, 25, quarter of a century since Back to the Future was released in cinemas. 1985 was when it was released, and it's released again this Friday to celebrate that. A number of people have tweeted, and I'm not going to name names because they're listening at the moment. They're not very happy if I did actually sort of tell them they were around that time to watch the film. I saw it as well in the cinemas in 1985. I think I would have been 13. I would have been 13 years old. So I was I was the prime candidate for Back to the Future, really. So you're not that old, really, if you did see Back to the Future first time round. You're not that old. Leeds Bird, if you're tweeting. Now, to commemorate that, 25 years of Back to the Future, we've been speaking to a number of the stars of the film this week. We heard from Claudia Wells, who played Jennifer Parker in the movie on Monday. We heard from James Tolkien yesterday, who played Principal Strickland. We've got another star of the film to come as well. We're also going to be talking tomorrow to Kevin Pike. He's the man that built the DeLorean. He is the special effects supervisor from the film. So we're going to be hearing from him tomorrow. But also this week, I popped along and met a man by the name of Julian Hunt, who has a DeLorean, and he let me have a go in it. In that driveway, I see an iconic car from the 1980s. It's a DeLorean. First of all, how did you come by the car?
I saw it on a website, on a DeLorean Owners Club website, and rung the guy up, and happened to be close to home, only about an hour away, in Stoke. So off I went and had a look at it.
What made you get a DeLorean?
Saw one in a driveway and just instantly appealed to me. So stopped the guy whose car it was and had a chat with him and was a bit hooked, I suppose you'd say.
It's an iconic car, obviously, because people think of the film Back to the Future and the time machine. It's certainly been a time machine for you because you've spent a lot of time on it. You've almost completely rebuilt it.
Yeah, I've rebuilt it, took all the body off, stripped all the chassis down, had it re-powder coated and all new nuts and bolts, all the ancillaries, bushers, bearings, shock absorbers, practically rebuilt the thing, yeah.
I'd imagine, a lot of cars get looks when you're driving down the street, a certain amount of status. I'd imagine that gets a few more than most.
Yeah, terribly. You'll find out in a bit when we go for a ride round in it, because there'll be people probably hanging out of the car doors and taking photos of it if we pass them. So yeah.
Do you think it's the sort of car that you're never going to get rid of? Do you think you're always going to own this DeLorean?
I'd like to think so. Yeah, you sort of never say never, but yeah, I've no plans to sell it, not at the immediate time.
Now, obviously, with the film being re-released this week, there's a lot of, obviously, talk about Back to the Future being 25 years old. When I spoke to Alistair from the DeLorean Owners Club, he said there was only one actual replica of a time machine, the DeLorean time machine, in the UK. Did you not ever think, at one point I might actually make it into the time machine?
I'll be honest, it's not one that's appealed to me from that point of view. It's A, it's a little bit expensive, and B, you kind of got to do a lot of work to the car to make it fit. Quite a lot of them have cannibalised the car to make them fit, but I'm not sure about the one that's in the UK, how that's been done, but if you're into that kind of thing, it's certainly going to turn a few heads.
You don't get at all worried when you drive at 88 miles an hour then?
No, I'm all right.
Okay. Right, we're going to have a little ride in it now then, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, brilliant. Here we go. Okay, right, I've just got in through the door, the gull wing doors, which is just an unbelievable feeling on its own, and we're just about to start this up. Here we go. Well, that doesn't sound too bad at all, really. Okay, let's get the old seatbelt on. Oh, that's one door down. Here comes the door. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, first thing, you're really low down in this, aren't you?
Very much so, yeah.
Just sort of looking behind me just to check there isn't a flux capacitor. There isn't. Does it take sort of a little bit of getting used to driving this low?
It does. The biggest thing with them really is the left-hand drive, which takes the biggest getting used to. Visibility on them is pretty shocking, but but you kind of get used to it.
What sort of performance do you get out of it?
They're not great, to be honest. I mean, they're very torquey. They've got a 2.9 V6 engine, so they're quite torquey, but by today's standards, they're not fast. But it's okay. I don't think anybody buys one because it's fast. They buy it
because it's a DeLorean.
It's a DeLorean, yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound too bad to me, really. Wow. Okay, we were going along at just around about 70 mile an hour speed limit. 88 mile an hour would be something difficult in this car. It's not even got that on the speed clock, Julian.
No, the speedo finishes on these at 85 miles an hour, which, don't quote me on this, I'm not 100%, but I guess is perhaps why they use the figure of 88 in the film, because the speedo only goes up to 85.
Well, that is amazing. Something I didn't know at all about the DeLorean. There isn't even 88 mile an hour on the speedo. This is staggering. It is a spectacular car, there is no doubt about that. It is absolutely wonderful, certainly to be sat in one. I can't quite believe my luck today, really. Can't quite believe my luck. It's a very, very comfortable ride. I'm slightly jealous. I'm thinking if I've got a bit of extra pocket money, I wouldn't mind buying one. How much would one set me back?
For a nice one, you're probably knocking on the door of the 20s now, I'd have thought. Around about 20 grand.
Around about £20,000, and if I want to convert it into a time machine?
Probably another 5 or 6, I would have thought. Not something I've really looked into that closely, but I know it's quite expensive if you want it to look the real McCoy.
Right, well, we're back in now. We've safely back. We're still in 2010. We haven't moved forward in time or back in time. Julian, what a great car. I just want to thank you so much. It's been a dream of mine to be in one of these, and you've made that possible.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
Kick off on Yorkshire Radio. Start the day with Yorkshire Sport.